Stop number 5 on the Castrol GTX Indy car series brings us to Atlanta Motor Speedway. The old version of Atlanta, I should say, as we're here for the 5th race of the season, and we got a great start off to the IndyCar series so far this season, and we expect for more things. This will be the 3rd race on an oval track here this season. We've had 3 on the oval so far and 2 on the road courses. We'll have a road course next stop on the tour at Lime Rock, which is the next stop. So, for that said, let's get the start line for today's running of this race. And on the pole for today's event, for this 2-time winner already this season, it's Dallas McIntosh at 205 miles an hour on the pole. He'll be alongside the number 14 car of Levi Shones. He's in a Honda-powered machine. So too is McIntosh, the National Guard Honda, number 16. Sky Commons, the number 21 Chevrolet, as the inside of the next row, the second row. And the number 13 Geico Chevrolet, it's Seth Cole alongside for NNSCRA Motorsports. He's on the outside of row 2. Jason Blandford, the number 58 Hess Ford, is on the inside of the third row. And beside him, in the number 15 National Guard Honda, it's Alex Hawkins on the outside. Abe Troxel in one of the 2 Red Bull Hondas in the field here. The number 95 machine is the inside of the 4th row. Beside him, the number 38 Sprite Ford, it is Keith Batson on the outside. Austin Geip in the wheel of the number 5 Dollar General Honda is the inside of the 5th row. He'll be alongside James Richardson in number 60 Valvoline Chevrolet. Then it's Levi McIntyre for Rockin' Wrestling Racing in the number 99 STP Lotus Indy car. It is the only Lotus in the field. He'll be alongside the number 12 Verizon Chevrolet. One of the Penske cars is Ryan George on the outside. This number 20 Chevrolet powered Indy car of Daniel Olson for Carpenter Hartman Racing. He'll be alongside the number 67 Honda of Nathan Hood on the outside. Davey Johnson, number 70 Castrol GTX Honda, has the inside of the next row down. And he'll be alongside the number 27 UFD Honda. It'll be Joshua Sakuli on the outside. Then it's Nicholas Romero, number 29 Ford EcoBoost Ford. He'll be alongside Joshua Collard, number 43 STP Honda. Then it's Kev Shearer, number 77 Honda on the inside, and beside him, one of the 3 Target Chip Ganassi cars. It's John Arndt, number 10 Target Chevrolet. Joshua Osborne is the inside of the next row down, number 19 Honda. He'll be alongside the Spotify Honda, car number 33 of Zachary Fitzwater. Then it's Sam Rogers, number 56 Glidden Paints Quaker State Buick on the inside, and he'll be alongside Dylan Young, number 2 Verizon Chevrolet. Then it's Elijah Gordon, number 26 Honda. He'll be on the inside, and Paul Barber in number 41 Haas Automation Honda. Then it's Leon Alvarez, the number 9 Target Chevrolet, the 2nd Target Chip Ganassi machine. And JT Bryant, the winner at Mexico City, number 11 FedEx Chevrolet. Nathan Hudson has the inside of the next row down, number 17 NTN Toyota Indy car. He's the only Toyota in the field, sponsored by Pac West. And a 2nd Red Bull Honda, number 35 of Pichu London. He's on the outside. Nick Gunther has the inside of the next row down, and number 61 Ferrari. He's the only Ferrari in the field, and has been very impressive so far. He currently sits been very impressive, even though the 32nd place point standing does not indicate that. He'll be alongside DJ Curtis, number 63 Honda. Then it's Dylan Thoreau, the number 3 Hitachi Chevrolet, and he'll be alongside Johnny Gardner, number 4 National Guard Honda. Jesse Turner in the inside the next row down in the Chevrolet, and he'll be alongside the number 32 Quaker State Menards Glidden Paints Buick of Amar Stoudemire Jr. Here comes the command to fire them up here at Atlanta.
Drivers, start your engines.
Command's been given to fire the engines as we get set for race number 5 on this season here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. As I said, this will be the next stop, and this is the race we're at right now. Lime Rock is next after that, and then after Lime Rock, will be the biggest of them all, the Indianapolis 500 from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And this is a real test for the engine builders here at Atlanta, by the way, too, because Atlanta's been known to be a engine builder's nightmare for NASCAR cars, but maybe also more for the Indy cars as well. As we get set for 50 laps of action, the green flag waves, and we are underway here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And look at those cars accelerate coming out of turn number 2 at already almost 200 miles an hour. As by the time they come out of the second corner, Dallas McIntosh has the lead. In the second place goes the car Sky Commons. He'll try to lead the first lap, and it's going to be a drag race between he and McIntosh. Whoa! And they gave it to McIntosh by 100 of a second that first lap, which was tallied at 189.082 miles an hour. And listen to those screaming IndyCar sounds, I should say, too. We saw these. We saw the same engine package for the last mile and a half stop on the tour at Homestead Miami Speedway, which was the second oval race of the season. The first was at Phoenix, Arizona, on a little 1 mile track. As Jason Blanford goes to the number 1 spot, though, but they'll be going to a few mile and a half tracks on the circuit, by the way, too. This is the current mile and a half stop. Next stop after the next mile and a half track will be at Texas Motor Speedway, and they'll be also going to Charlotte Motor Speedway as well. So you got a mix of so you got a mix of road courses and oval tracks on this series so far. And Texas will be the stop after the Indianapolis 500, by the way, so they'll be on the verge of. That'll be on a stretch of 4 straight oval races, which after Texas will be Pikes Peak, and then Charlotte will be after that. Austin Geip holds the number 1 spot right now, and number 5, Dollar General Honda. He's followed by Levi McIntyre in second position. Third now, going forward, third is Daniel Olson here. Now he's going to try to shove McIntyre to the number 1 spot now, as he tries to. Now he wants to go inside. He's going to try to make it 3 wide as they have on the turn number 1. And he will make it 3 wide. Davey Johnson in the 70 trying to shove him. Listen to that field screaming in the turn 3. We said this track is an engine builder's nightmare. Well, we are not kidding. You get kind of there you get an idea hearing how loud they wind these engines up on these cars here as we're on board inside Joshua Osborne's car, trying to shove Kev Shear in the 77 to the lead, and he will take the lead from the 29 Nicholas Romero. But Romero fights back on the outside as they head on the third turn. Osborne, you're watching it from his car. From second spot. Osborne came in third, the last stop on the tour of Canadian Tire Raceway, and here he comes for the lead on Shear. And he's got the shove from the number 4 from the 26 of Elijah Gordon, who comes into this race 14th in the standings after having a solid run at Mexico City, or at the Canadian Tire, I should say, excuse me. There's a shot from the chopper view right there. Osborne having the lead at the moment. Already 9 laps in the books, and these laps click off quickly with these Indy cars without question, because these cars laps, and you see right there on the lap speeds right there, for an example, Nick Gunther in the Ferrari, 206.334 miles an hour. And I'm sure they will do faster on the current Atlanta configuration, which is the 1.54 mile quad oval. And now zipping into the lead goes Leon Alvarez as he tries to go side by side with Elijah Gordon, and he's got the 17 of Nathan Hudson, the only Toyota-powered Indy car in the field. And he'll take second position. Nick Gunther going in the third. Gunther, as I said, being very impressive so far with that only Ferrari. Even though the 32nd place points standing does not is very indicative of what this car has shown in the first 4 races of the season, but including this one here at Atlanta for the 5th stop. But I tell you, Gunther has brought that Ferrari to life. And be a very impressive story if either he, Hudson, or McIntyre, the only manufacturers of its kind, can pull off a win here, because they are the only ones of its kind. Hudson is the only Toyota, and McIntyre is the only Lotus in the field, and Gunther is the only Ferrari. And Gunther, as we talk about all that, takes the lead, and here he's got the challenge from the Penske number 3 of Dylan Thoreau. They're averaging almost 205 miles per hour after 13 laps here at this track. Jesse Turner now goes to the second position. Now he's got the shove from Marty Johnson, who won the race at... Actually, I think Marty... Actually, I think Marty... Yeah, Marty won at the Canadian Tire track, I think is where he won at. I'm not sure, actually, but anyway. Johnson goes in the second position. He's got the shove in the 81 of Lyndon Wright. Lyndon's another Chevrolet-powered car in the field, the Coca-Cola powered machine. Black in his customary black and red scheme by, of course, living up to his YouTube name, Black and Red 81. On board with Lyndon Wright. Lyndon currently sitting a solid 5th place in the standings at the moment coming in. And you're with him as he's going to go for the lead in turn number 1. Last lap by 203.88 for Lyndon Wright as they go over in the 3rd turn now. Or down the backstretch, I should say. Heading off in the 3rd turn. And a drag race. Does he lead that lap? Oh my gosh. If that would have been the finish, I'd have lost it. Oh my gosh. And Lyndon Wright did barely lead that lap over Derek Pemberton, who now then loses to the man who started last in the field, Blaine Keys, in number 28. So Blaine Keys goes to the lead, and he's got the shove from Johnny Gardner, car number 4. In the National Guard Honda. That's the Dan Weldon tribute he's driving, and he's got the 3rd Chip Ganassi Target car behind him. That's Chris Dodd in car 93. This has been one heck of a what a start what a first half of this race so far here. We got a whole second half to go as we have completed 19 laps in this race here with now 31 laps to go. James Richardson in 60 car moving his way in the top 10, trying to shove Amar Stoudemer Jr. in 32. And Amar runs right now 11th in the standings, and now Amar goes his way to the top 5 now, getting past Chris Dodd. He's in the 3rd car in the inside line, but it's behind Paul Barber and Nathan Hood. There's the field rundown right there. There's Nathan Hudson on the outside, drafting behind his buddy Dylan Young in number 2, one of the 3 Penske cars in the field. And And Dylan Young is our third in-car camera in this race. Young being clocked last time by in 22nd position. Nick Gunther and Keith Batson just up ahead. Young dropping to 25th at the moment. Now DJ Curtis goes by. As well as the car of Levi Shones at number 14. Actually make that Joshua Osborne in the 19 car actually. Runs up ahead of Shones there. It is kind of confusing between Shones and Osborne. They had the same, nearly the same paint scheme. Albeit different teams. Osborne driving for Dale Coyne Racing, while Shones driving for AJ Foyt. Seth Cole running solid right now in a 13 Geico car. It's the Casey Mears paint scheme. The latest in the cars for NNSCRA Motorsports. And there's the run through the field right there. Davey Johnson running last at the moment in the Castrol GTX Honda, battling with for position with Ryan George, and now Amar Stoutenberg Jr. goes to the lead. And he's got the car of JT Bryant right behind him. Camera fail right there. Stoutenberg leading the halfway lap. By the way, that was 25 down. This will be 26 in the books and 24 to go. JT Bryant now going for the number 1 spot, and he's got Stoutenberg on the outside. And the 10 car right behind us, John Arndt. And the second target, Chip Ganassi machine, and he's got Joshua Sekuli right behind him in 27. Sekuli having a... Let's see where he's at in the moment. Right, the points going into this race. He is currently 23rd in the series. He's been hit or miss this season. But still early on in the season, though, in the IndyCar series. Zachary Fitzwater right behind. So is the car of Lyndon Wright. Sky Commons in there. Sam Rogers in 56. One of the 2 Buick-powered Indy cars in the field. In fact, he was on the inside of the other one of Amar Stoutenberg Jr., a pair of Buicks in the field. And one of the 3 Ford cars in the field, that's Keith Batson in number 38, who currently sits right now 33rd in the standings. He was also a fast start, and he had a bad run a race or 2 ago, but right now looking strong at the moment, though, is Keith Batson staying on the inside lane. He's got Joshua Osborne and Levi Shones right behind. Notice the speed starting to drop off just a slight out of these cars, and we're seeing 200 miles an hour all the way around this track, though. The laps last time by John Arndt just over 200 at 200.76 miles per hour. Now Sky Commons goes underneath Lyndon Wright for the number 2 spot, and Sam Rogers wants to go 3 wide in that 56 car, and he thinks better of it and stays behind Sky Commons. But right now, John Arndt's got him all in his rearview mirror at the moment, though. But race ain't over yet. We're coming down for 19 laps to go. Daniel Olson, a little squirrely coming out of the 4th corner in the Ed Carpenter racing machine. And oh, look at this. They're 3 wide there. Levi, is that Shones or is that Osborne? That's Osborne. Underneath Keith Batson and Sky Commons. And now the 56 of Sam Rogers goes in the 2nd. Osborne goes to the 3rd, and he's going to have Shones staying behind him. Some great racing going on here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway as they come out of the second turn. John Arndt holding the number 1 spot at the moment, but here comes Sam Rogers trying to make the move to the inside lane. On Rogers, nothing, on Arndt, I should say, nothing doing. 17 laps to go. Dylan Thoreau dropping back to last here. Penske teammates side by side. Dylan Thoreau and Ryan George. Not the run that either one of them is wanting so far. Neither is Blaine Keys in number 28 car. Blaine Keys, I think Blaine Keys might have been the one that won at Canadian Tire. I'm actually really sure on that one, believe it or not. In fact, all three of the Penske cars running back in the pack, though. Thoreau, Ryan George, and Dylan Young, as now Sam Rogers takes the lead now in the number 56 car. Keys dropping the last. Here comes Osborne. He'll take the lead. 35 lap average, 202.686 miles per hour. And that last time by a race low at 199.832. So, kind of like one of those races where you start off fast and the next thing you know, your lap time's falling off just a little bit, though, lap by lap, though. Kind of like one of those tracks where tires can play a big factor. And the more you run those tires, though, the slower your car gets on some tracks. So it kind of reminds you of NASCAR racing at Rockingham, where the tracks basically like sandpaper in some ways. You know, it'll just wear your tires out. Darlington can be the same way too. Alex Hawkins making his way through the field now in the 15 National Guard car. That's the Graham Rahal special. He runs in second at the moment, and one of the many cars that National Guard is actually sponsoring here. Hawkins is one of them. The other is Dallas McIntosh and Johnny Gardner. Levi Schoen's taking the A.J. Foyt special to the number 1 spot now, as we are closing in on 10 laps to go here at Atlanta. Schoen's out in front. In a second goes Hawkins. Actually, Hawkins going for the lead now. He's got Nicholas Romero behind him. This time by will be 11 laps to go. Hawkins, by a half a car, has the lead. Lap speed's now just under 200 miles per hour. But as you can see, the competition's still fierce, even though the tires, as we said, are wearing out, though. But I'm not sure they're gonna make pit stops with less than 10 to go. But still, Blanford now going to second position now in the 58 car. Abe Troxel to third. Here comes Johnny Gardner for the number 4 spot. Derek Pemberton right behind. Amar Stoudemer Jr. making another go of it. And where did Davey Johnson come from in the 70 car? He was dead last when we last talked about him. Davey Johnson, number 70 Castrol GTX Special, holding on to the having the number 10, having up to the top 10 in the 8th position. As Alex Hawkins goes to the number 1 spot now. Johnny Gardner now going in the 3rd. Eight laps to go. Blanford for the lead. Jason Blanford driving one of the 2 KAB Enterprises machines, though. He and his teammate Keith Badson, who right now sits in the 26th position. They're averaging just under 202 miles per hour. Coming down for 6 laps to go this time by. What racing here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway? Jason Blanford out in front. In the second goes Alex Hawkins third. Amar Stoudemire Jr. Davey Johnson up to the fourth position, and Levi McIntyre running in fifth. And you got a battle going on here. Leon Alvarez getting by Zachary Fitzwater, and here comes Nick Gunther. Where did he come from in the number 61 Ferrari? And here comes Hawkins back for the lead. Car number 15. 5 laps to go. What a finish this is going to be here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You can just about feel it. Not sure we'll see this kind of racing the next stop in the tour at Lime Rock, but still, this is great stuff. Off corner number 4 now, into turn 1 I should say. Davey Johnson trying underneath Amar Stoudemire Jr. for a position. That's for second. McIntyre trying to make the move as well from 4th. Alvarez the 5th. 6th is Nick Gunther as he gets by Jason Blanford for position. 3 laps to go here at Atlanta. Top 7 cars, single file. Trying to figure out where to make the move. This is like a Talladega draft. Davey Johnson for second. Car 70. Makes the move to the inside. They'll be coming to 2 laps to go this time by. McIntyre trying to make it 3 wide. Car 99. But nothing doing. 2 to go. It'll be the white flag next time by. Can Alex Hawkins hold them all off in car 15? Or will Davey Johnson in the 70 steal the win? If they keep trading at second position, that might bode well for Hawkins as the white flag waves. 1 lap remaining. Can Alex Hawkins hold them all off 1 more lap? We're about to find out. Last lap average speed 196.5 miles an hour. Backstretch. Davey Johnson's got 1 more shot through the 3rd and 4th turns. He dives inside of Hawkins. Here they come to the 3rd and 4th turns now. Hawkins slams the door off corner number 4. Alex Hawkins wins here in Atlanta. What racing we saw for 50 laps in Atlanta. Alex Hawkins takes home the title. Here at Atlanta, second was Davey Johnson. Third, Levi McIntyre. Nick Gunther in the Ferrari comes home in 4th. And 5th position will go to Jason Blanford in the Ford. What a race here. Nathan Hudson comes home 6th. Amar Stoudemire Jr. 7th. 8th was Leon Alvarez. 9th, Joshua Collard and Joshua Sakuli coming home in 10th. In this race here, average speed 201.034. 11th place will be Jesse Turner. 12th was Dylan Thoreau. Ryan George was 13th. 14th, Blaine Keys. 15th was Zachary Fitzwater. Chris Dodd 16th. 17th, Marty Johnson. Dylan Young. DJ Curtis and Nathan Hood, the top 20 in today's event here. And as we look through the field here, see where the big names, or see where all the names ended up here. Johnny Gardner in the 22nd, Pichu London and Abe Troxel, actually the Red Bull cars finishing right together, 23rd and 24th. Elijah Gordon, 26th position. Joshua Osborne, who's up in the top 10 for some of the race, ends up 27th. And then Austin Geip, 28th in the field. James Richardson ending up dead last in the field. Here, Sky Commons, who started way up in the field, though, actually ends up 38th. So not a good finish for some of the big names. Dallas McIntosh, the championship leader, ends up 36th in the event, so not 33rd in the events rather. So not quite the run he had at Homestead Miami Speedway the last mile and a half we went to on the tour. But a big day for the 15 of Alex Hawkins as he takes home the win of the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Hawkins, who came into this race, I believe, he was actually way back in the pack. He was actually 40th in the points coming into Atlanta. So this would be a big step up here, points-wise, for this man, for that man. So as we head to the next race on the tour, which will be the Grand Prix of Lime Rock, the next stop on the tour for stop number 6 on the season. So until then, this is James Qualls. This is a production of the NNSCRA, celebrating 5 years of offline racing at its best.